sense. Well, let's get to our first conversation this afternoon. Now, you will know that the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adeniyi, has been elected as the chairperson of the World Customs Organization Council, the highest decision-making body of the organization. His appointment takes effect from July 1st, 2025, and places him at the helm of a global institution that brings together heads of 186 customs administrations across the world. According to the statement made available to the media, Adeniyi was formally endorsed by the Council during its 146th session held in Brussels, Belgium. He succeeds Edward Questa, who is Commissioner of South African Revenue Service, who completed his maximum 2-year term as chairperson. In his acceptance speech, Adeniyi expressed gratitude for the opportunity to lead and pledge to build on the progress already achieved under the outgoing chair. He acknowledged the leadership of his predecessor and committed to advancing the organization's strategic goals. But we have a lot to talk about. What this means, what's the impact for Nigeria, and all of that. He wears many caps, but let me introduce him first, Dr. Eugene Nweke. He is the Secretary, Custom Consultative Committee, Head of Research, Sea Employment and Research Center, former National President of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders. I can go on, but good afternoon. It's good to have you on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon, Toro.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. Let's get to the conversation very quickly. Let me ask you, now, would you say that that CGC's appointment, Adeniyi's appointment, is it a growing success, and what has it got to do with his position as CG, growing through the ladders?
I think the first thing I want to say is to clearly, appreciate Mr. President, for putting an end to military administration, so that administration in Nigerian custom. Perhaps if that has been the order of the day, then obviously this very milestone achievement will have come.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yes, let me give you a background. Right? The man called Bashir Adeniyi was a 2-star officer when he emerged as National PRO of Custom. And he has been with 7 good Controller General of Customs. And each time, he always go with them to represent and present paper at the WCO level. So he's a known person. Adeniyi is one of those officers that really went through the course of Arusha Declaration on the integrity of custom. So it understands the place and the role of integrity when it has to do with custom operations. Now, if you take it from that point of view, this same officer, while he was the CAC of Murtala Mohammed Airport, seized as much as over $100 million US. He didn't take it to him. Integrity spoke. He took the money back to government. That's what we call impeccable character, integrity. Now, Adewale is like a man who has gone in and out of the WCO. He's known and they've known him. He has spoken the interests of Nigeria and Africa by presentation. They know what he represents. That is why the election or the endorsement was unanimous. So if you look at it from that point of view, they now look at what are the benefits of this very appointment. They start to look at what the aspect of trade investment that will come our way, sitting there as chair. They now look at the openings that will come through the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. You now look at Nigeria custom being, charity begins at home.
Yes.
Now you're not seeing Nigeria custom being under the eye of the sun because all eyes. He's at apex. So whatever he does here locally will speak volume. So Nigeria custom has to be watchful so as to advance the essence of transformation and modernization that is ongoing.
Now let me follow up by asking you that this appointment or this election as the chairman of the WCO Council definitely comes with loads of responsibilities, with 186 member nations looking to the Council for direction and leadership. Or of course, you alluded to that in your first submission. What will you consider as the major challenges that you think he needs to brace up for?
Well, knowing Adewale Bashir very well, I don't foresee challenges. That I think what you need to do is to devote adequate time towards, addressing diverse interests, balancing it of different nations, their priorities. He has to balance it. He has to foster trade collaboration. And they also need to go all out to see how to meet and liaise with United Nations, WTO, and IMO, World Bank, right? And it makes it easy for him, because most times WCO work hand in hand with WTO. And who is at the WTO? Our own system. Our own person. So it's about fostering collaboration, one, then strategic partnership, right? Then, of course, that's balancing the interests of other nations. So to me, it's just what he needs to devote his time. He understands this. I don't really see it as a challenge.
Now, what does having a Nigerian in this role really hold or portend for Nigerian Customs Service in general?
It has exposed Nigerian Customs Administration, being recognized at international
level.
They have to maintain what we call international best practices. It will foster what we call trade investment. It also brings about locally. We have to strategize to also show leadership, direction, because being sitting there, the whole Africa is all watching. So Adeniyi is like a ray of sunshine and a beacon of hope to other African leaders. Remember, the person he succeeded is a South African.
Yes, South African, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you have to show that, Nigeria is a great country, giant under the sun. Leadership-wise, you have to show direction.
Very important. That's not a small task, you would agree with me. But what, as the first Nigerian holding this global position, in what ways do you think Nigerian government, of course, and the Nigerian customs, it needs help? What do you think we could do to ensure it succeeds in this new role?
First, Mr. President should see Adeniyi as an international controller, not just being the CGC of Customs Nigeria. You're not doing with a global person. It's an international person. Now, what I think that the government do is to show support. It requires material support, infrastructure support, in order to do very well there. You know what I'm saying now? So government must embrace this very gesture with whole heart, be open to discussion. And once they do so, then trade, investment, and negotiation comes to Nigeria. So it behoves on government to really embrace Adeniyi's position and get the best they can get out of it. Because this is time Adeniyi will now promote made in Nigerian product. This is the time he has to galvanize the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Always carrying them along in some of the international sessions. So it's a whole lot of window that is opening to Nigeria.
I see how interesting this is. Because one of the challenges, of course, of global trade is the balance between security and facilitation. What would be your counsel to CG Adeniyi on how to go about navigating this at the WCO level? You are a player in this industry, major player.
Yeah, you see, Adeniyi understand the game. The first instance, the council duty, the core function, is to uniform and modernize custom across board, to provide strategic leadership to the Policy Commission, then to foster collaboration among them. So if that should be the case, Adeniyi, when he came on board, you know what he did? He came with 4 policy trust, management policy trust, revenue, trade facilitation, revenue optimization, digital transformation, and stakeholder engagement. These 4 key policy thrusts has been driving whatever thing Adeniyi is doing. Before now, after the September 11, you are aware that there was a whole lot of changes within the maritime shipping industry.
Yes.
So ever since then, that's what we call ISPS code. ISPS code now provides that every nation should sign on to what we call container initiative for security purposes. You talk about balancing of trade and security.
Yes.
Now, what Adeniyi did as soon as he came on board was to go back to China and some of our major trading nations to obtain sign what to call mutually recognized agreement. In this case, that's what's called advanced loading. Advanced loading provide that information about trade, the particulars and details is already known before coming to Nigeria. That's a form of security arrangement. Now, He has, within this period, over 69 scanners have been deployed to the system for intrusive scanning and trace facilitation. Right? Now, he has introduced what we call Biodogu, a local platform to drive the custom administration and procedure. These are all efforts geared towards putting in place trade facilitation tool and compliance towards security.
It sounds good, because I know I've followed some of these reports, you know, when a correspondent comes in with them. A lot of developments, one way or the other, around that space. But let's move to another very interesting conversation, which is the AFCA, which is gaining momentum at this time. What role do you see Nigeria playing in ensuring that, you know, custom policies and trade facilitation across Africa are harmonized, you know, and effective?
The word harmonization and unification is key. Adero will ensure, within this period, to ensure that the uniformity of agreements are even within the context of Africa Counterfeit Free Trade Agreement. 2, he will also ensure that in fact, we are pursuing what to look at a currency that will bring us together in that very Africa Counterfeit Trade Agreement. So, Costa have the CGC, Adeniyi, the chairperson, has a duty to ensure that within the African Counterfeit Trade Agreement, all protocols that are not necessary should be collapsed so that we have one uniform application from across board. Once we're able to establish uniform application, be it from rule of origin, be it from declaration, one approach, we are done. So he will be pursuing what we call a single administrative document. That is the pursuit, and that is the desire. That is the canvas at the African Counterfeit Trade Agreement. So for us as in Nigeria is to also bring partnership, exposing the African nations into partnership and investment. So we are looking for that within this period, foreign direct investment will come the way of Nigeria and other African nations. It's key. That will happen.
That is really indeed very key. But let me ask you again, that how does CG's Adeniyi's appointment reflect Nigeria's growing influence in global trade?
Well, for a Nigerian CGC to be appointed, elected into chairperson of WCO Council, it means the first thing that guarantees one election is integrity. That means it shows that Nigerian custom is growing and grooming towards integrity. It shows that the modernization effort in Nigeria is now appreciated over there. You can't just be elected a WCO chairperson without track record.
True.
Bashir has the track record. Like I said in my opening speech, the marks. So for someone like me knows too well that as far as Adeniyi is concerned, this process is drivable. I will deliver it.
So interestingly, how can this be leveraged on almost finally now to strengthen our own economy?
If we attract foreign investment, and if we are also able to export our made Nigerian product through this arrangement, what does it mean for the nation? That's 1. 2, in policy drive, we are at the point of making policies must be put together, because every country is not developed. Most countries are developing. So their interest and priority should be taken into cognizance. In this case, our priority as a nation should also come to the fore under a chairperson, the person of Adeniyi. So, recognition-wise, we're getting it. Custom modernization is coming. So that's why I want the president to really put the proper money to custom. Let this whole digital transformation be holistic. There are 30 problems that will be addressed, the fact the custom on top of it, and I know we'll come out of it, because there's a migration from one NICs to BOW. So 30 problems are there. But is that enough to say that we're not getting it? No. Under what do you call it? The Africa Counterfeit Free Trade.
AFCA.
Are you also aware that Mr. CGC has already signed into operation. People, I mean, what to call authorized economic operators. And they've started, they've gone already, in fact, the first, about sometime in May or thereabout, maize Nigerian goods were exported through this means under authorized economic operators. What it means that once you are given that certified as an economic operator, you can move your cargo to anywhere. You are insurance bound, you are financial bound. Without any you just ship your cargo, at the end of the day, the bills will be paid. So he assigned it to that. Today, tracking cargo is also even the port through geopartial across border. So I am surprised to see the level of collaboration that is ongoing. Just this last week, you are aware that through collaboration, stakeholder engagement, responsible partnership, he handed over to NAFDAC drugs worth over 92 billion.
Yes, we reported that.
So it shows that collaboration. That is, they are first under the four policy trusts I mentioned earlier. So he's driving it. It's a process.
So finally, what more would you be expecting from the Nigerian Customs Service? And of course, moving on, even with disappointment at the WCO.
Cooperation from the management team, Custom ECF, cooperation for the government, cooperation from stakeholders. It's our team. You see, we start appreciating this position the way we appreciate Okonjo-Iweala in WTO. Let me say this. As we speak, the Minister for Marine and Marine Economy is right now at IMO session trying to push for Nigeria to get into top seat. And he's lobbying just to get it. But in this case, this one was just come. This man should be succeed us. And it was agreed. It was endorsed. We are looking at a man who has hope becomes an area of sunshine and a beacon of hope for so many African nations, especially within the sub-Saharan Africa nation. And Nigeria. There's no how Adeniyi kickstart this process without Nigerian trading public saying, yeah, thank you. Especially those that are into exportation, not into importation. So the horizon is wider and it's open. We have to navigate in.
And how has that environment been, export-import environment in recent times?
Yeah, export is increasing because apart from the issue that has to do with exchange rate has become an issue. But we are pushing. Recently, if I follow the report from the Little Pond Export Zone, you see that by last quarter, compared last quarter and this quarter ending, there's appreciable growth as declared by NPA. So export is doing very well. Of course, you know, when we talk about export, we're talking about not oil this time around.
Yes, no.
So we are doing well, but I won't say we are fantastic. Much work has to be done. That's why I said earlier, time has come for the CG Adeniyi as chairperson of WCO Council to really move Nigerian Export Promotion Council, carry them along in the course of his administration or reign in office. Dr.
Eugene Nweke, I must thank you so much. Secretary, Custom Consultative Committee, Head Research, C Employment and Research Center, former National President of the National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, CEO of Virtuous Marine and Freight Services Limited. So thank you so much for coming, and it's good to see you again.
Thank you, Tolu.
All right, then enjoy the rest of your day.